As it says I'm live. If I am, hello, you lovely people out there. My name is Tyson, and in today's live stream, as you can tell by the title, I made more Spider-Man English. I made more spectacular Spider-Man customs. I was very eager to make the next batch, so I went ahead and did so. Disclaimer: this little hip piece is on, I think, 2 or 3 characters because it is the only brown hip piece that resembles the brown of the pants and not some like other weird color. So yes, it might look a little off, but I don't care. Starting off, we got Harry Osborn. The only thing that would make this like almost perfect is if the inside shirt was green and if there was no bow tie, because if so, it'd be pretty much like as accurate as can be. Also, again, yeah, I didn't change the powers, so yeah. Anyway, next up we got Miss Gwen Stacy. I gave her the glasses and then the ponytail with the normal blonde color that Lego uses as their blonde. Whenever I'm doing this, I normally use the sand color for blonde because it looks more like actual blonde, but then again, in the TV show, her hair is yellow, so I just went ahead and did this one because it's kind of yellow, kind of blonde. And, yeah, this is the closest I could get to what her outfit looks like in the show. Next up, we have Peter Parker. Yep, there's that hip piece again. This is like one of the most basic customs ever. I just gave him a whole bunch of custom pieces because he's just wearing a t-shirt. He's just a child. Anyway, the only things that would make this better is if I could get like his little mole up near his eye on the face, and if I could have given him his satchel backpack, like the Green Goblin piece that they gave with him. If I could have put that on the custom, it'd have been great, because he always has that backpack on. Anyway, next up, we got Kraven the Hunter, or Sergei Kravinoff in the show. This is one of the best and worst customs on this list, and I'll tell you why. One, the arms are perfect. On his right arm, he just has the gauntlet. Well, is it really a gauntlet? Yeah, I'm just going to call it a gauntlet. Or wristlet. And then on his other arm, he has like a tiger wrapped thing around his bicep, I think. And then the little wristlet on. So I just chose 2 different pieces, but this one actually has it right. As far as the legs, it's great. The chest piece could be better. Of course, it does have the skin tone is off, but this is the closest I could get to like his jacket thing and like a jungle theme, because I couldn't actually get a jacket with no shirt on under it, so this is what you got. I gave him the Widow's Peak hair piece with the almost like Tony Stark type goatee, and I was going to give him just the normal fur part that's just around the shoulders, but after looking at it, his fur thing goes all the way down to like his waist, so this one was perfect. Thank you, Creeper, aka the person who comes from. And then I just went ahead and gave him his spear. Yeah, spear. I'm just gonna call it a spear because I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Anyway, next up, Shocker. This was hard, and I'll tell you a couple reasons why. Because Shocker does, like, you can't see his face because he has a mask on, but then he has like a visor that's like see-through so that he can see, and you can see his human eyes through that. So during the face, I had to make it where you couldn't see his mouth, but you could see the visor, and the head had brown and yellow in it together. This is what came out. It's not too bad, and I went ahead and gave him the Sonic powers just because it's not Shocker without them. As far as the rest of the design, the best piece would be great if I could change the color of the ab lines, and if the star wasn't there, it'd be perfect as I can get. And if there was a little yellow top piece, as if like a sleeve almost at the very top, like a short sleeve. For the rest of the design, though, if you take out not the hip part, but like the bottom part that connects the legs to the hips, if you like make that brown, then it looks good. Yeah, I'm getting this off my screen. Next up is Vulture. Personally, my favorite design that I made on this list. I love Vulture in the show just because dude. I was confused though, because when it showed Vulture like making his armor, it was green, like Vulture normally is. But then it turned out it wasn't green when he came out in the second episode, and it was blue, black, and red. Anyway, regardless, it looks awesome, and I forgot that these wing pieces existed. I wasn't going to give him the wings, but then I looked, I'm like, oh wait, this exists, so it's perfect. And then he has like this weird head thing. There's like one stripe on the top of his head that just comes down, and then two on like his jaws that does the same, but I couldn't do that, and this is the best way to capture that old man look and have like the bags under his eyes. This was like the perfect faceplate. If I ever make a comic, ooh, that's a good idea. Comic. So just do everyone's comic appearances for Spider-Man and the Avengers and stuff. That's a good idea. I'm gonna make that a series. Eventually, I'm gonna make that a series. Comic heroes and villains. So first I'll do like the comic heroes, and I'll do the comic villains, and then I'll do Marvel and DC, and that'll be great. I almost did Star Wars customs one time, but yeah, that was really hard. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked. Next up, we got the Lizard. I know he wasn't only in one episode, and I still liked the way he looked. I gave him the crocodile head and jaw piece with like a red face underneath. I did this skull trick where you can make the skull red and the head red. So, yeah. To represent like the inside of his mouth, and then I gave him the claws, and I was debating whether or not to give him like the actual doctor's coat thing or like the scientist coat, but I wasn't able to do that and have like the green underneath, so I just went ahead and did this, and I gave him the shorts and stuff too. So yeah, this is Lizard, or the Lizard. Next up is Mysterio. I don't hate this design. It's not my favorite that I've made, but it's definitely not the worst design that I've made. I don't know what these abilities are. I did the same skull trick, but this time I purposefully made it to where you can see the face, because in the show you can see two eye outlines. So I tried to go for that to where you could purposefully see the face under the fishbowl, or at least the eyes under the fishbowl. The chest piece was kind of the hardest part, because he, in the show, just has like, it's like the comic suit. So he just has, like lines going throughout the suit, so I thought this would be a good chest piece. And I was gonna make the suit that green color that you see at the bottom of the arm, and a lighter green than that, but it just looked off, so I just used that as the lighter green, and just used green as like the main green of the suit, and of course purple cape. Next up is Black Cat. I know I said Black Cat and the suit's blue, but trust me, it's like that in the show too, so don't hate on me, please. I was going to give her claws, but it just didn't look right, and I think this looks pretty good as far as Black Cat goes. Pretty fun design, pretty easy design, and of course I went ahead and used the Catwoman piece because they're both cat people, like cat-based anti-heroes, because they're not necessarily villains, they're just like burglars, but they help out the heroes. Like Catwoman helps out Batman here and there, but also is involved in a lot of crime. Same with her, she helps out Spider-Man here and there, and they team up, but she's also a criminal. And I gave her these arms from, I think, Kid Flash Wally West or something, or Flash Wally West, and the white's supposed to represent fur, because she has like a fur thing. Last up, or not last up, but